Hey guys, today's look is based off of a picture that I received from one of my subscribers. It was a request to do a Taylor Swift inspired look, based on the picture that she sent me, obviously. I have gotten a lot of requests in the past to do Taylor Swift, so I must have a lot of Taylor Swift fans that watch my videos. But I have noticed, well, first of all, this picture really caught my attention. I'll put a link to it in the sidebar. But I have noticed this is kind of the typical way that she wears her makeup. I've seen her wear her makeup like this a few times. It's a very kind of dark, kind of cat eye effect with her eyeshadow. And rather than being so pointed on the edge, it's kind of more of a soft effect. I really love it. I think it's very fun. It's very sexy and like smoky. And what's my hair doing? That's unfortunate. But I hope that you guys enjoy it. I hope that it's helpful. And if you want to see what I did to do this, then keep watching. Alright, so since we are using some darker colors, creasing is going to show up if it occurs, a lot more noticeable. So make sure that you use a base to prevent that. I used the Benefit FYI. I've already applied that when I did this eye so that it could really get a chance to set nicely. Okay, then because we're using dark colors, and I want to kind of create this like, you know, little soft swoopy shape, I'm going to start with a black base. I'm going to use the MAC grease paint stick. This is the black one. And they're really creamy, so you can just go ahead and draw that straight onto your eye. Don't go all the way in though, because we want this inner area to be, you know, not black. So just kind of, you don't have to make it perfect because these are very creamy and we're just going to blend it right out. Don't go all the way up to the crease because we can blend it up. Alright, then you want to take some kind of brush that's going to blend that out. And I'm just using a MAC 217 brush. And it might take a minute. You just want to use little swirled motions. Now for this outer corner, we want it to kind of have that little soft swoop. So just take a little bit. You can, if you need more, you can just go directly on the brush like that. And barely create, just in soft strokes upward. When you get to that outer corner, you're just going to kind of pull it upward a little to kind of create that rough outer wing. And it's not like a harsh pointed wing, it's like very soft and rounded. Okay, now I'm going to use the same exact brush to apply the color to my lid. First I'm going to use this typographic shade by MAC. It's not the blackest black, which that's carbon. That might be a little too harsh to start out with. You can definitely go back and use carbon later, like to kind of intensify it, but I'm just going to get a little bit on the side of the brush and dab it over. At the same time, this is just going to kind of be really good to blend with. Again, don't take it in too far. Okay, then you can wipe off the brush or just use whatever's left on there to blend that color in the crease. But don't extend it upward like I said. Alright, then you can take a blending brush and just go around the edges so that nothing looks harsh. And then we're going to do this inner corner. I'm going to start with, what color did I use? I'm going to use Brulee right there. You can even use Bisque if you want, whatever. I'm using Brulee, and I'm just going to kind of pat that on that inner corner. And you can even overlap the black a little bit. This just kind of matches my skin on my eyelid almost exactly. And that's what you want. So if you're a little darker, you want to find something that matches your skin on your eyelid, but maybe is just a little bit lighter than that. Alright, so we've got that light color down. To keep it from looking so matte or chalky, because sometimes it can do that on this inner corner, especially if you use light colors, I'm going to take a color that's more of a satin, you know, nude color that matches this color that I just used but has some shimmer satin finish to it. And that for me is Grain. I love this color. And I'm just going to pat it right over the color that I just applied. This color isn't quite pigmented enough to use on its own for that purpose, to kind of, you know, make it look like your skin right there. So that's why I like to apply the matte shade first and then apply this over it for the finish. Now go ahead and take that same brush, that same color, and just sweep it right underneath your lower lash line. Now we're going to go ahead and do our brow highlight. I'm just going to do it very roughly. I'm going to take a large brush and Mylar. Use this shade all the time. Oops. Where are you? Right there. It's a very light satiny shade. I'm going to line my waterline. I'm going to take this, what's it called? The Christian Siriano. You know, I showed you this. It's the one that's a Victoria's Secret. And I'm actually going all the way in. And then for my top lashes, I'm actually going to create a very thin line. So I'm going to use my MAC Penultimate eyeliner. And you don't have to do much on this outer edge. It's not going to really show up much. I'm just going to take that all the way in, working very, very thin. Alright, then you can apply your mascara, whatever you want to do. I'm going to use the Maybelline Great Lash Big. This is very comparable to MAC Plush Lash. The brush doesn't have that flatness of Plush Lash, but the formula and the effect is very much the same. And then I'm going to apply a strip of the MAC 7 lashes. I'm going to trim them about to there. If you have a question about applying false lashes, I do have a video on that. There are lots of videos about that. So I'm going to apply that real quick, and I'll come back and show you what I did on my face. Okay, so I haven't done anything really on my cheeks yet, other than my foundation and all that. For my lips, in this picture, she has very pale pink, or pale peach lips. So what I did is I mixed two different colors of lipstick together so that it wouldn't, wait, that's not the color I used, so that it wouldn't look extremely, yep, there you are, funky, or too pale or too dark. So I used Ravishing, which on me is a very, you know, coral color. It's not really nude. And then the Flesh Pot. So I really wanted the color of Ravishing, but with kind of the bright nudeness. But I didn't add any gloss because I wanted to keep it kind of, you know, natural looking. You certainly could. Actually, I'm kidding. I'm going to take a color that's very light and frosted. This is Runway Fave. And just apply a little right there. It's just going to kind of brighten it up. Okay. Now I have my gloss fix. Wish that really didn't do anything. But then, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do on my cheeks. I didn't add any bronzer. She's very pale. Not that you have to be pale to look like this or anything. But your face, you don't want to have a lot of contouring. You want your skin to look very porcelain, very even. And just add a little bit of subtle color with your blush. And for that, I'm going to use a really peachy shade. Can't talk today. And I'm going to use the MAC Cantaloupe blush. This is a pro color. It's a really nice peach. Let's see, what other color is like that? Gingerly is pretty close in the regular line. Gingerly is right here. Cantaloupe's right there. Cantaloupe might be a little brighter. Gingerly might be a little more tan. But just going to use a little bit. And definitely it's showing up a lot. So I'm going to use a kabuki style brush to buff it out. If y'all ever do that, like if you apply too much blush, you just take, you can take a powder brush that's very dense, but I like to use a kabuki brush. And it blends in the color. Especially like right here, I never like to, like, you know, sometimes if you apply too much, your blush is like really obvious right here, like the line. I do this pretty much almost every time I apply blush. Okay, I know that's really interesting. Alright guys, I'm all done, and I hope that helped you guys out, especially if you're Taylor Swift fan and you wanted to recreate her makeup. Or if not, you just like her makeup, whatever. Yeah, so I will talk to you all very soon. Bye. Where the heck are you? Frick. Oh, here you are.